Hey everyone. Hello, hello. Let me know I'm live. I hope I am. Hi. Some people are already here in the comments. Hello, Judy and Roberta and Elizabeth. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Lee. Hello, Brienne. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here today. I never know when the the delay will catch up, but happy to be here live. Thank you for tuning in today. Hi, Holly. Hello. And if you're watching later on replay, thank you for being here for replay as well. I'm realizing I'm wearing a strange shirt on my live. It just says sorry. It's actually shirk merch. It says sorry, can't crafting buy. Just in case you're wondering why I have a shirt that says sorry on it. Hello, everyone. Did everybody have a great weekend? Ready to make some cards? I'm in a fall kind of mood. Hi, Pam. Hello, hello. Brianne, I hope we match. I mean, don't we always wear shirk merch every single day? Isn't that a required uniform for our week? All right, so I'm going to do a fall card today. I'm trying to just wait a couple seconds for people to find me. I didn't put it on my stories or anything, so I don't know how many people will find me today, but that's okay. It's always there later for replay. All right, I'm just going to go ahead to my overhead camera because nobody wants to see my face anyway. All right, so here's what I thought we would do today. Oh, Jennifer says that she did lots of crafting over the weekend. That's wonderful. And Lee says that fall has come to her mountain. So yay. All right. Well, when I was at Pink and Main back in June, it was wonderful to get to be there at the warehouse and see all the products. And I saw this little set and I just thought it was the cutest thing ever. This is not brand new. And maybe it's not even fall, honestly, but I think it's going to be fall in my world because I put mushrooms in with fall things. I don't know, even though if they may be a spring thing, who knows? But anyway, I thought she was so cute with her little mushroom hat and stuff. And so we're going to play with her. This is called Mush Love. So we're going to do that. And then I thought I would make it on a hexagon flip. And so this is the hexagon flip card die set. This was out, I think, in July, and it had a bee theme when it came out, but you can use it way beyond bees, of course. And so let me just show you. This is a sample card that I had made with this, kind of a simple one that I did for stores. This was with the cute little bears, and this is what it does. So it cuts it so that it can flip like that, but we're going to decorate it completely different. But I just wanted to show you, this is the kind of thing we're going for today with the hexagon flip. And I did cut her out just to make sure she'll fit because I wasn't quite sure. But I think, she just barely fits on there, but it'll work. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time coloring, and I didn't color it in advance to choose my colors and everything. So hopefully we can, hopefully you can bear with me while I do a little bit of coloring. Let me see what else you're saying. Oh, hi, Meg. Hello. And sorry if I missed anybody else. Lee loves mushies. And yes, Judy has used her hexagon flip a lot. Many uses out of it so far. Yeah, it's a great die set. I love making little interactive cards like that. I think it's so much fun. And Lee has the set. And Roberta's using it for her craft roulette card this week. Well, that's fun. Gotta love craft roulette. All right, so I'm not even sure what I'm going to use to decorate it, but I'll show you the little pieces that I stamped and cut out. There's cute little mushrooms that have faces, and then the little flowers have faces as well. Or you can have just regular mushrooms without faces. There's another little, like a little bush, little shrubbery. I cut out this message. I cut out a tiny little, there it is, little tiny pebbles. And then if I decide I want more, I did stamp out another set of these. And I also did the thank you so much. So just to talk about the set again for a second, the messages in it, they're sending smiles. Hello, hi, I have mush love for you. Thank you so much. And then there are dies to cut out all of those messages. So I do love that. The hello, the sending smiles, the hi, and then the two little greetings also have it. There's even dies for these teeny tiny little grass things that you can use. A die for the heart. I always love a set with a good heart in it. And even for these little star type of things, there's dies for those as well. So every single thing in the set has a die. So you got to love that. Let's see. Yeah, it is a great die, isn't it? Oh, the hexagon flip. Yes, it's great as well. Hi, Shelly. Nice to see you. I'm drawing a blank on the name of your business up where you are, but hello, good to see you. You can shout yourself out if you want to. Okay, so let's go ahead and start coloring our girl. And I wanted to do it with a fall theme. You can see some of the other stuff I pulled up here. I might do a little foiling. I might do some embossing folder. I might do pattern paper. We're going to figure out the decorating of the card once we get all of our little pieces colored here. Hi, Joy. Nice to see you. All right. Okay. So let's start coloring. I'm going to go ahead and start with her face, I think. And my standards, I use Olo markers. By the way, I'm turned away from my microphone, but I use Olo markers for my coloring. I also love Copics, and I use those for years and years, but I've just been on an Olo kick for the last year or two. You're seeing some shadows today. Sorry about that. Let's see. 1.0, 1.2. I very much dislike it when I know my marker is right there and I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm just thinking for a second here. There it is. No, that's not it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm looking for a marker that seems to have vanished, but that's okay. We don't need to use that one. We're going to move on. So I'll use these two, 1.0 and 1.1, and I'm going to use these to color her little face. And I'm going to start with the darker one on the outer edge of her little face. I stamped these. This time I used my Hero Arts Intensified Black ink. It was what was on my desk. It's one that I like to use for Copic coloring. It's a good universal ink that works on all kinds of things. I don't even, do they even make that anymore? I don't even know, but that is what I like to use. And I'm using Nina cardstock. I really need that darker color. Hold on one second, guys. Where are you? I know you're right in front of my face and I'm missing it. I had a marker thief in my room, which I'm sure was me, but I don't know what I did with it. Oh, well, that's fine. This will work. And I'm sorry if watching me color is boring as watching paint dry. I hope it's not. As I think a lot of you know, we also go live here at Pink and Main on Tuesdays and Thursdays with Caitlin at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and she is awesome, and she is an amazing colorer. So if you ever want to see some great coloring tips, tune into Caitlin for sure. Oh yeah, Shelly's Crafts and Scrap Studio in Pittsburgh. That's awesome. I haven't pre-ordered my new Olos yet, Jennifer. There's 96 new colors of Olos coming out, and right now they had a pre-order. I don't know if it's still there, but a lot of the independent stores will have them, and Michelle carries Olos as well at Pink and Main, so they may be available there eventually as well. There was a whole bunch of new purples, so I have to get on that and order some of those, I think. Holly asked a question about the pink washi. So, okay, let me tell you a little something about Olos. They come apart like this, and this is what you buy when you buy one marker. It's a half marker. And I bought mine a long time ago when they had a really great deal. And I have the same color on both ends, which is, I'm very fortunate to have that because I know it's a lot of investment. You could put like your two coloring combos that you like to use together on one marker. It has like a little connector that puts them together. They also have little handles that you can use to make it more like make it look like a pen at the other end, like just the end of a pen. But I had these are ones that I had that are a little older, and this is the newer end. That's the only reason. I also put tape around mine because I often will use them in classes and stuff, and I want to be able to tell which ones were my markers. And so that's the main reason that I have tape on my markers. But it also helped me know which is which. So nothing crucial that you would have to do to your markers. It's just a me thing. I like to put a little pink on my cheeks to rosy them up a little, and that's what I just did with that. Let's see, she is a fall girl, so I'm thinking maybe let's give her some red hair. What do we think about that? So I'm going to do OR 1.6. Let's see, what is that, too orange? And another thing that I do, this is my coloring chart that I like to use, my hex chart. This is from Sandy Alnock, and I refer to it when I'm picking colors to try to figure out, what I want to just and look at the colors really easily. So this is a great tool that I use with my Olos. So I'm just going to do the 1.6. I don't always go in and totally blend, like sometimes it's okay to just use one color and color it in, and I think that's what I'm going to do on her hair today. I might go in and make the edges a little, around her face a little darker after, but for now I'm just going to start with this. But then since I made her hair orange, I need to think about what color I want her mushroom hat, which I was thinking would be red. Is that going to look weird with my orange? I hope not. She could have been a brunette, I suppose. Okay, Judy, Roberta answered your question. Yeah, they have a chisel. I have the brush, and I believe later in the year, I've heard that they are going to come out with a little bullet nib, and I'll be happy when they do that because I would love to replace some of mine to be, that kind of nib on them to make it even easier to get into the small places, right? Okay, let's see. R0.4.5.6. Going to do some mushroom cap here with my reds. Oh, Elizabeth says her boss came right as I was starting. That's no fun. I appreciate you trying to watch while you're at work. Don't get in trouble because of me now. I'm lucky that this is my job. So I'm literally at work right now. Very fortunate. I love coloring mushrooms, but I do have a little bit of trouble going around like the little circles. I don't want to go over them. I went in the small one just a little, but that's why I always keep a white gel pen or a white Posca pen on the ready, because that is easy to go over at the end and make it white again. So that's also what I use if I go out of the lines when I'm coloring. I love to color. It's one of my favorite things in the world. So I love that there's so many wonderful things at Pink and Main to color. But I also don't pretend to be like a coloring expert. I do what I do and have fun with it. So thank you for being here to watch that. I should really think about before I go live, like, what did I do this weekend? I'm trying to think and I can't even think what I did. Oh, actually, I know what I did. I posted on Instagram too. I spent a lot of time this weekend trying to clean up my craft room because it's a disaster. So I did darker on the sides and then kept it kind of lighter in the center. I might go in once that dries a little and see if I want to kind of blend that out or do anything to it. Let's see. I'm going to do inside the mushroom cap. Hey, can you guys tell me when I turn my head, can you still hear me like this when this is turned and this is normal? Do you hear a big difference? Because I never really know if I am messing up the sound when I do that. I'm going to put this up in front of me. Okay, let's see here. I think 3.2 and 3.4 would be good. There's a difference, but you're still perfectly clear and audible. Okay. I actually just today ordered a microphone, so soon I will not have that issue anymore by the end of the week, actually. And let me tell you about some things that are coming up. I'm going to be doing a live on Friday, I think, if it all comes together. I'm going to be doing a foiling live for a store in Iowa called Scrap Mania. It's going to be on their Facebook page. So if you want to tune into that and learn a little more about foiling, that's going to be happening. And I'm also doing a live on Friday a little later in the day. If any of you are doing the bonus day for scrapbooking cards today, I get to do my intro on Friday as well. So I thought, have some lives. I'm doing this live. I should get a new microphone and try to make it so you guys can hear me better. I also eventually want to change my cameras, but we'll see when that happens. I'm not sure yet. All right, what color should we do her dress, guys and gals? I think it might be all gals here at the moment, but you never know. I want to make it kind of a fall colored themed. Here's where we're at so far, if you're wondering. What do you think her dress should be? I think I am going to do green for the little bush, even though it's fall. There's still green bushes in the fall, right? And I was going to do the little flowers in a more of an orange or yellow to make it more fall colors. What do you guys think for her dress? Should I just do like a little blue on there to give her a little different pop of color? Oh, did I not say what time the live is on Friday? That would be helpful. Let me look it up real quick. 1 second. My live on Friday with Foiling for Scrap Mania is at 1 p.m. That must be my favorite time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And that will be on their Facebook page. Orangey yellow or blue. I was thinking yellow. Yeah, I always do teal as well. Sunflower yellow, warm yellow. Okay, I'm going to stick to the warm, the warm colors today. So I will do a yellow color, like more of a, are there more yellows coming with the new colors of Olos? I wonder, I need to look again because there's just like a few more I think I need. I could do like the Y0. It could be like this kind of an orangey yellow. What do you think of that? I think that could be good. Roberta says purple. You're like a gal after my own heart. I would almost always use purple, but I'm trying to stick to a theme here, And once again, I go live and my cat starts snoring. I don't know if you guys can hear that. He's over on the other side of the room, so I'm not sure it picks up something that far away, but it's just kind of funny. He's such a sweet boy over there snoring. So I usually go on the outside with my darker color. Then I do the one, it depends. Sometimes I do a 3-color blend. Sometimes I do a 2-color blend. But I do that blending in the center, and then I go back again on the outside with the darker color just to help blend it. And sometimes I go again with the light again. It's just kind of, you keep working at it until it's the look that you want, basically. Just back and forth, back and forth. That's how I do it. All right, let's get some more of her skin again, which was my Y 1.1, not Y, OR 1.1. That's little. I'm not even going to try to blend it. I'm just going to do the darker. Need to think about what color I'm going to do her little bow on her dress. Could maybe do it red to tie into her mushroom cap. Where did my other? There it is. Okay. Let's see. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. It's not fall. It's close enough. I count September as fall, even if it's not technically fall. I'm not worried about the technicalities here. My daughter went back to high school in August, the beginning of August. So it's been fall in my mind for a while, even though a lot of you are still celebrating, or not celebrating, but feeling like it's summer. To me, it's been fall for quite a little bit now. I say if there's pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks, it is fall. I'm not sure what the actual first day of fall is. Is it the 21st, maybe? Vitamin D. My cat is not getting vitamin D. He is in front of the window, but it's not really shining in right now. Okay, what else do we need to do here? Let's see. I think I'll go ahead and do like a little bit of light gray, kind of in those mushroom circles. This is the warm gray one. I'm going to get out some greens and start doing the little greenery. Let's see here. G4, 5. 22nd this year. But Brianne, Googled that, or did you actually know that? See, I went out of the lines on that dress a little. I don't know if you can even see it from this far away, but I did. But my little green covers that right up, and you would never have known had I not told you. Or maybe you did. I don't even ever look at the Olo names. This one's called Spearmint. This one's called Shamrock. Those are pretty normal. I just use them. Don't really look at the colors. I mean, I look at the letters and numbers, but not the names, I guess. Same with Copics. I wouldn't even have any clue what some of the Copics are called. Any of the Copics, for that matter. I do know there's one called Shrimp. I think some of the new Olos had a, some of them have an oceanish, like an ocean theme to some of them. I think I remember Jen saying that during her live. Oh, Brienne was having a little talk with her daughter about what the first day of fall was. So are you disagreeing with me, Brienne, about considering it fall, even if it's not really? Oh, well. Oops. I don't even know what the temperature is today, but I'm in Georgia, so you know it doesn't feel like fall yet. Not gonna lie about that. It's like I don't love summer. I don't like hot. So it's mind over matter, right? If I just try to will it into being cooler, then maybe it will be. I was just up in Boston a few weeks ago, and it was so nice up there. See, you're the same as me. First day of school counts as fall, even if it is the beginning of August and it's still 1,000,000 degrees in Georgia. I don't know if I've blown my color scheme by putting that bright green in there, but I have faith it'll all come together in the end. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Let's see. I'll do this green on here as well. This kind of stuff makes me really nervous. That's why I hesitate going live, because thinking on my feet and having to come up with stuff. I feel like I'm doing my own little craft roulette here. You guys want to see? This is how she's looking so far. Once I finally get a video camera here, I'll also be able to zoom in and you guys will be able to see things easier than me just picking them up, but we're not there quite yet. I'm going to add a little, let's see what this is. Just a little of this. I said I was going to leave her hair one note, but I am going to add just a little bit of shading with this. Kind of doing a little darker around her face. Yeah, we were in up in Massachusetts in Labor Day weekend. And so I think Tuesday, when we were still there, heading to the airport, I think kids were heading back to school in some areas. It's really strange for, compared to what ours is just so early. And it sounds like Brienne's the same where she's at, but beginning of August is just so early. Roberta, where you're, oh my gosh, you're going to make fun of me for not remembering. I can't remember if you're Alabama or Mississippi. I know that you're near Elvis's birthplace, but I can't remember which state that was. I think it was Mississippi, right? Oh gosh, Libby, I can't remember. Okay, so our little flowers, let's figure out. I think I need something maybe a little more orangey for those at this point. So let's do maybe 2.5. Let's see how that will look. There's 2.6. No, that's OR versus O. I do that all the time. Those look very close in color. We'll give that a try. Mississippi. Yeah, I knew that. My brain. You know how it is. Well, I don't know if you know, but when you're live, sometimes your brain just doesn't work like it would on a normal day. Let's see. Okay, let's see. How would you color these flowers? They have like little variations, but I think I'm still just going to do one color at the bottom. That is a dark color for these little flowers. I'll do the back just that full color. And then I'll do this. I did it backwards. Oh, geez, Libby. I meant to do darker at the bottom, but I ended up doing it. I'm just going to go over it. Oh, my goodness. I meant to do darker at the bottom and then lighter at the top, but I grabbed the wrong marker, apparently. Let me make sure I have the right caps on these. Yeah, I just messed up. Oh, well. Then I have to pick a color for the center as well. Now, a little tip about coloring with Olos. So you know how if you're used to coloring with Copics and sometimes you get like the little burp, the blob of ink that comes out, you can open the other end to equalize the pressure. Well, you can't do that on an Olo because there's only one end. The other end isn't connected, right? So opening the other end does nothing. And so what I've heard from my friend Lori Craig at Olo is when you're coloring with something, you don't want to keep snapping the lids back on over and over while you're coloring. It's better to just leave the lids off. So when I'm coloring something, I'll usually just put the lids kind of sort of on, or even not even at all. But that's just how I keep track of which marker's which, and set it to the side like that. I haven't been doing it with this, but when I'm going back and forth a lot with a marker, I will do that to keep the pressure. Grab your zero marker. I literally never use my zero marker, but that's an interesting idea. I think I'm just going to grab a lighter one. Let's see. I was using what? Oh, the other thing I did. Okay, I see what I did. You guys. I grabbed this marker, which was not one I meant to use even at all. I used an OR. I had O 2.7. I meant to grab O 2.5. So I did start correctly, and then I just grabbed the wrong marker. And so now it's completely the wrong color. It's the color of her hair. Ay, not what I meant to do. But let's see here. Let's see how we can fix this a little bit. Let's try this. Sometimes doing a lighter color marker can do kind of like what Lee was saying with grabbing the colorless blender. When you're putting that lighter color over it, it can also just take away some of that color. So can you see what's happening there? Going over it with that lighter color. The only thing that you need to be careful is that when you're adding a lot of ink like what I'm doing right now, it can really set you up to smear out of your lines. And so I don't want to go right up to the edge with that. But I'll let that sit for a second, and then I might blend it again because it might add a little harsh line right there. But see how that lightened it up? Put some glue on it and foil it. I could add some foil. That'd be interesting. And it is actually smearing outside the lines if you look right in there. And that's just because when you're adding that much ink, can you see that? It starts to smear up above the line a little bit. I did change my plan, but unfortunately I don't like the plan that I changed to. So I wanted to fix it at least a little bit just to make myself happier. Let me try the other one the way I meant to do it. I'll set these over to the side and see how that looks. It may still not be my favorite either, but we'll see. And I just totally went out of the line. And I have to think of what color I'm going to put in the center of that as well. And I need to pick up the pace because I'm sure you guys would rather see me do the hexagon flip than sit here coloring for an hour, but what can you do? You got to color. And I do appreciate you being here as well. That looks okay. Even though they're different, that looks okay to have two different little orangey colored flowers. And then maybe in the center, I will put maybe the same yellow like on her dress. Let's see how that looks. Okay, what else does she need? Are we good with her? There's maybe I'll put a little a little glitter or something in the middle of those flowers when I get done because I did smear so much. But there's where we're at right now with her. So you can see I went out of the lines along the edges of that flower, and I also had some going out of the lines inside the little circles, and that's why we have our paint pen. That's right, Lee. Give it a little shakety shake. Sound like Tim saying that, shakety shake. All right, just make sure it's flowing. And I'm going to go over here and go over that line. And by the way, if you don't have this Posca pen, which I love, it's like an acrylic paint pen. It's my favorite thing to color when I go out of the lines and stuff because it just always works well. Sometimes I have hit or miss success with a white gel pen, but this thing always works for me. And because I use it so often, Michelle now has them on the Pink and Main website. So if you wanted to grab one while you're shopping for other things, they are there. Just a little tip for you. It's called Posca. Posca. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put a tiny bit of pink on her nose, I think, just to make it cute. I usually like to put a little black glaze in eyes, but the way this eye is, I'm just not sure if I want to try to go over it or not. Because it does have a cute little white center. Let me just try to put a little. I just like to put black glaze on the eyes because it gives them a little shine and it just makes them come to life a little more, I feel. Then I also, you know what I can do is put it on the little mushrooms as well. Because what we want are not mushrooms, flowers. Because who doesn't want their flowers to come to life, right? This one's a little U-shaped. Okay. I also like to put little dots. Does yours turn pink when I go over the reds? Nope. It worked perfectly great. I'm going to put little dots on her cheeks. I mean, it all depends on how much you're going over, I'm sure. If you were trying to cover up like a huge area, I'm sure it would be a lot harder to get it to work, you know? But that was just a small little bit and it worked just fine. I'm also going to do shoop, boop, boop. I like to add the little highlights. Maybe some just little dots here in the bushes to give them a little something. I tell you, this and black glaze pen, I can't make a card without because I love them so much. I think black glaze, yeah, black glaze is definitely on the Pink and Main site as well. Just have to be careful. You want to make sure that it's dry before you start touching things. Let's see, I have a little on her hair. Okay. There she is, looking cute. Yes, cutifying it. I just love to add all those little details. I know it's not for everybody to make the little white lines and stuff, but I just think it looks so cute and it makes me happy to do that. So I do it. All right. Now I'm going to just do maybe another little, I'm not going to use the mushrooms with faces today, I don't think. Save those for another card. I think I do want to do like a little bush and some more mushrooms to put on the inside of the card, maybe. I think that would be really cute. I could, yeah, let's put one on her little scene too, maybe. All right, so I'm going to color these real quick. That shouldn't take as long because we kind of have our colors figured out already. So let's go ahead and do this little bush. And if you're curious, I don't know if it even matters to anyone, but I'll list like the colors that I used in the description after I'm done and make sure that all the other products I used are in there as well. And I am going to start adding pictures to I shouldn't say these things because I don't know if I'll get it done right away, But I start adding pictures of the projects we make on lives to the picture, the thumbnail on YouTube, because I think that just would make it easier for people to find things. And when they're looking for inspiration for certain sets. So that is on my list of things I want to work on. But I'm keeping this big pile of markers here on my desk so that I know all the different colors I used. All right, let that dry for a second, and then I'll add the little dots like I did on the first one. And I'll do these mushrooms. And screen, yeah. This has little circles to go around, which I find difficult with this big brush tip. But I shall persevere. I can get it done. Let's see, on this side as well. This one needs to go like along that back, which is a tiny little thin line of red. Oof. Just using the very tippy tip of my marker. So do you guys love mushrooms as much as I do? Hi, Create and Relate. Nice to see you. And do you love just like the red and white cute little toadstool type mushrooms on cards and things, or do you actually like mushrooms like to eat? Like, do you love all mushrooms, or do you only like cute mushrooms? I like all mushrooms. I think they're delicious and they're cute. I have a like mushrooms have a little place in my heart. Morel mushrooms, they grow in Michigan in the woods. And my grandma used to love going mushrooming for morel mushrooms. So they just remind me of her. And I used, I didn't go all the time, but I did go mushrooming with her at some point in my childhood. And so that's part of why I love them. These aren't morels. Do you guys know what morels look like? They're like the really wrinkly looking kind of mushrooms, and they're very delicious to eat. I would never feel confident going into the woods and finding mushrooms and eating them, even though I think those are pretty distinctive and you can tell what they look like, but I would be way too afraid to pick a mushroom and then eat it because it could go very wrong, right? Brianne says she doesn't like eating balloons. That's funny. I know they're not for everybody, and that's okay. We can all like different things, and that's okay, right? Robert also has a texture thing. Holly doesn't like them. Judy can't stand them. All right, a bunch of mushroom haters in this group. But thankfully, you all don't mind me using cute ones on cards, so that's good. I would say mushrooms are probably my favorite pizza topping. Extra large mushroom of the barbecue with onions and cheese on a bun. That sounds delicious. Like a big portobello or something. Okay. Oh, Roberta, that's unfortunate that they don't love you. That's a good reason to not want to eat them. Okay. Trying to get my glasses to focus here so I can see what I'm doing. Just making these little white spots stand out better since I did color over them a fair amount. Little zoop. And little dots on this. I don't even know why I'm putting dots on the bush, but I don't know, it just works. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Instead of burger meat, create and relate. I used to make mushroom burgers. I have made, I mean. All right, my hand's dirty, but this is all the things we've colored. So the coloring section is done. So now let's make our hexagon flip. So let me put all of these into something so that I have them set aside. I have this Share Handmade Kindness tumbler here. I'm gonna just go ahead and put them down in that if they fit. Oops. Remember how I said I left caps off? There was one without a cap and it just went flying. I don't think these are all gonna fit in here. Close. That gets them out of the way. Let me find my cap for this one because this one went on my floor. 1 second. All right, did I miss anything other than all the dislike of mushrooms? Yeah, Elizabeth, yes, my grandma knew what she was doing, thankfully, but I would not want to decide myself on the mushrooms. I don't know if anyone is here watching from Facebook. I think I made it live on Facebook as well. A lot of the comments I'm replying to or talking to are all on YouTube, so I'm sorry if it's not making sense. I do try to mention what I'm talking about. Do we want that little stones? Nah, I'll just put that aside. Okay, don't need that. So now let's figure out our hexagon flip pieces. I do need to get a card base, first of all, to start working with this. So this is fun. So this piece right here cuts out the flip part of it right into a card base. So you start with a, 5.5 by 8.5 folded card. I usually use, when I'm doing this, you want it to be like a side folded card like this, right? So let me make that. I need to grab a piece of cardstock. Let's see. Here's one. Oh, wait, do I want to make it white or do I want to make it something more fun? Hold on a second, guys. Let me think for a second. We want to maybe start with this. Yeah, let's do that. That'd be cute. Okay, so, oops, sorry if I hit my camera. I'm going to cut this in half. Somebody, look at this. See how that goes far back? I can't remember if I said this on my last Monday, but somebody broke my paper trimmer. I'm so sad. I used it at an event and somebody broke it. It still works, but it's just all floppy now. All right. Now I'll go ahead and add the center fold. So start with an A2 card base, exactly. Yep. So I'm going to score this at 4 1/4, right? That always never looks right when I'm on here. Make a folded card. All right, so there's my normal folded A2 card. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this die up so it lines up right with the end of the card. So you can see how there's like a line there. Libby, no. Don't listen to what I just said. Listen to what I'm saying now. You want it to be this direction because you want it to kind of do the cut right in the center of that panel. All right. So these little handles, I'll call them, are what you line up with the edge of your card to make it work. So let me get my big plates for my Empress. And you could do this with smaller plates. It would just like kind of hang out the end of your, as it's going through, which is fine. But since I have the big one, I'm just going to go ahead and use it. So I'm just lining that up with the end of my paper. Those little feet are what line up. Make sure you can see that. And this part is where you're going to cut it into your card base. And I'll put this through. My die cutting machine is right off to the side. I'm going to put this through. Okay. So now what we have is this little fold thing. It cuts the fold lines. You're going to fold it back so that we have this. See that? Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Now let me find my scoring tool. Here it is. To burnish those a little to make it fold really nice. And that's it as far as making the main part of our card. All that's left to do now is decorate it. And this die set comes with lots of fun dies for adding decorations to your card. What this one will cut is a panel to decorate here. It can go here. You can put it on both sides. You can put it here. You can put it on the front part. You know, you can put stuff everywhere basically on here. And I think I am going to decorate every possible part of this card. There's also this cute little piece that will make a little scallop to go on your hexagon flip. There's also this one has stitching on that part of the hexagon. So what I think I'll do is I think I will do this one from white and we'll do a little ink blending on that. I know I had a white panel. Where did I put it? There it is. I'm going to cut this out of white and do like a little ink blending so she has like a little sky behind her. And then this one, I was thinking maybe this might be the same thing I used on my the card last week, but I love it. And I think that will look really good and fall like with it, right? Then I might pick some other card stocks. I might do foiling. I don't know. Let's just do one thing at a time and then I'll figure it out. So I'm going to just use my other plates and start cutting some things out. Let's do this one. So some of the things in here I'm not going to use today. I'm not going to use the bee. This makes the little body of the bee. This is like, I'm sorry, I'm off the camera. This is the bee. This is the body of the bee. This is the wings of the bee. I keep putting my finger on the tape. This is like honey dripping, or on Halloween cards, it could be like something gooey or bloody if you want to get really kind of gruesome. Then another little hexagon. This makes like a little honeycomb looking thing. So all those kinds of things I think I'm going to skip today. And we're just going to decorate our card with other little pieces. So that will be behind her. Now I need to figure out a color to go with this. Let's see here. Let's see what we think of this. I think that kind of ties together with everything. Yes, yes. Bye, Elizabeth. Thanks for popping in. Sorry for the banging around. I was trying to get out my paper trimmer. I know other people who go live would never do what I'm doing right now. I'm just piling things up and cutting on top of them like a crazy person. But it works. I'm not professional. Okay, let me cut this one out of here. Yeah, I love this. Is our fall gingham pattern paperback. And I just think it's so pretty. Yeah, brown would be good too. I like that idea. And maybe I need to pop in a little red somehow to go with the mushrooms. But that's cute. And that will go on here. And she will go on that. See where I'm going with this? Looking cute so far. Let's start cutting out several of this panel. And I think you can get you can get several of these out of one piece. I'm going to get my big plates again. I keep going back and forth. So do you guys want to see foiling today? I could do an embossing folder on the leaves. I don't know. There's just so many options of cute things I could decorate this with. Oops. That's probably fine, but it moved on me. thinking some of the panels could be cute with the embossing folder. Another thing I just like to remind you of, when you're doing a die like this where it has like a real straight edge to it, if you're able, if you have a machine that's big enough to do it, you want to put that on an angle so that you have less of a speed bump to go over when you're die cutting. Here's another little thing that I noticed when I was using this die set before. If you line this up really nicely as you're die cutting, I don't know where the cut line is. I'm not sure. I think I had this kind of centered before. But look what you get. You get like another little panel that you could put on a card front if you wanted to. Let me see how I lined it up. Then I didn't make it at an angle like I just got done telling you should do. There we go. Just to get more bang for your buck, you know, as you're die cutting. I'll show you what I'm talking about just a second here. Hello Fall paper pack. I think that was from last fall, wasn't it, Judy? I think it's still available. Let me see if I might want to use something from that one. All right, so see what I'm saying? If I just took my paper trimmer now and cut that right there, I have like another panel that I could put on the front of a card, or you could just cut that off and use that hexagon. But if you line those up as you're doing your die cutting, you could have another card front to use on something. I just thought that was a little fun. All right. Checked paper embossed with the leaves. That wasn't what I was thinking, but I could try it if you want to see what it would look like. I could also put this back here. And then go, put something else on this panel. Let's see. I'll do that for Roberta so she can see what it would look like embossed. And I might, if we like it, I might cut out the them into the shapes. But I want to show you this. Finish my thought on this one. Oops. Come on, paper trimmer. Don't fail me now. Look what it did. Libby did not cut it nicely at all. I'm going to blame it on the fact that my paper trimmer was broken. Well, yeah, that messed up. But you can see what I'm talking about. Like I could take that, and if this was like a card front, I could have used that panel if it had cut nicely on the front of a card, and you have like another piece just ready to go. But I did not do a good job of trimming that, so oopsie doopsie. See what gingham looks like embossed. Now, when I do embossing, let me just trim that real quick. When I do an embossing folder in my Empress, the way I do it, I don't know if it's correct, but it always works, is I just use the 2 plates without the magnet. So I will put that through like this. I still try to put it at a little bit of an angle to have less of a speed bump. And then that's how I put it through. Yeah, you could still use just the hexagon for sure. I'm not getting rid of that piece, but I just think it's a fun thing that you could have like a little border and a little piece ready to go if you wanted to. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of fun. Little subtle embossing there in the pattern paper. Should we do that? Do you guys like that? It's kind of fun. Let's go ahead and do it. Why not? It's just paper. Well, Holly, I love screaming fall. She said, ooh, that just screams fall. Loving this. Well, you know, that's how I feel about fall. I want to scream it. It's like, it's finally fall. Kind of, sort of. That's really cool. Roberta, fun idea. I like that embossing in that. That's really different to have it in, I don't know, maybe everyone's doing it. Maybe it's all the rage, but I've never done embossing in pattern paper like that. That's really fun. All right, let's start putting the stuff on here so that we can go from there and see what else we need. I'm going to go ahead and take this panel and just put a little blue. So instead of getting out an ink, I'm just going to see if I have any blue still in my brush, because I often do have just enough just to add a little sky. See, plenty in my brush. That's why I don't clean my blending brushes. Wait, yeah, this is the top. I don't think I need green along the bottom because I don't think it'll show, but maybe I will try just a little just to finish my little scene here. You know, at some point I do add ink to my blending brushes, but often they just have enough sitting in them here on my desk that I don't even bother adding any. And then that will go on there. And because I'm me, I love to pop up all the things. So I'm going to go ahead and get out my jumbo foam tape roll here. Oh, this is a new one. I think I have another one that's not brand new, but I'll just use, oh, that's disgusting. Sorry. I can't stand hair when it's not attached to the head. So, but on the flip side, I shed all the time. So it's very unfortunate. Okay. Popping it up. Dimension. Love it. Okay. And you can add as many, decorations to this as you want. You could just, wait, what was that? You could leave it just the way you did your card base, or you just can keep adding cuteness. Does that even make sense? I'm gonna go ahead and put this down first. I should have done it before I added that with foam. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and just use a tape runner. Now, the thing about this whole situation is you want to make sure that you're not putting things so that they'll interfere with your flipping, right? You want to make sure that you have things good and centered. And that's why when I started, I mentioned how I had to make sure she would fit, because I don't want her hanging over where she's going to interfere with the mechanism, which there she kind of did. So probably I could even just trim that off a little if I was worried about it. Ooh, my cat is snoring loud, which I think I may do. Well, I don't want to mess it up. Let's see. I think it fit better before I pop things up. I'm going to go for it, and if we have to trim it, we have to trim it. It will flip popped up for sure. I popped up another version of this I made at a trade show, and actually this is all, see, this is all popped up as well. I don't know if you can see that, but it's totally popped up and it still flips. The only thing is you want to make sure you're not hanging over the edges. That's more important. Oops, too close. Yeah, I could use the hexagon die to trim. I thought about that, but too late. That is a good idea. I love all the dimension. It's a little close. I didn't mean to put that so high up there, but I don't want to, well, maybe I can. Bear with me for a moment. Perfect. No problem. So yay. Nothing had to trim and she works fine. So love it, love it, love it. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put these on. I think I'm going to use my liquid glue. I'm just going to use this one because it's here. Just because I want to have a little wiggle room when I put this down. Although I will say, I should grab my pink and glue. This glue dries so dang fast, you don't even have that much wiggle room, even though it's liquid glue, in my opinion. I'm just holding that shut to see where I want to line it up to make it nice and centered in that area. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? Okay. Then I'll do the other side. Hear me going over all that texture. Oops. Then I got it on my desk. Squish it down. Put it on. A little too low. Cute. Oh, she's so cute. Bye, Judy. Thanks for popping in. Okay, I'm going to put is I going to put a little mushroom on here? No, I don't like that. That's not going to go. Okay. One thing I like to do is I like to make another little hexagon for the inside. So I will do that. Of course, I did not center that very well, so I wasted cardstock and I need another piece. Let's see, do I have any white out? What did I do on this one? I didn't do any on that one. I could probably do the little, yeah, I can do this as well. Like if I wanted to do another piece with, yeah. I don't know if that made any sense, but I'm going to do the little scallop border. That's what I'm trying to say, along with the white for my inside of my card. I don't know if I want to use that message that I had. I have much love for you. It's cute, but I don't know that I want to send this as a lovey-dovey card to somebody. So I might change it to a different reading. But so when you do this, you just want to make sure that you're going to cover it so it doesn't show. But I just love all the little details that you can put on this and make it all decorated and cute. I think I might do a couple more of the little decorative panels here and here, because why not? This will go right in there, and it's hidden when it's closed, but then it's not hidden. It's taped up, but I'm gonna wait to put that on because I don't want to put it over too far because I'm gonna put this in as well. So let me cut these out real quick. Hopefully they will both fit from this panel that we did a little bit ago. And then I have to think if I want to have, I like to decorate that too. I mean, I would put the card in the envelope like this, where it's already like that. But if somebody wanted to shut it all the way, it's nice to have that panel decorated as well. You know what I mean? So you can go all out with all the decorations. Okay, there's that one. Oh, that one's good, but this one, oh no, never mind. I was thinking I had to do it upside down for a second there. I don't know where my brain was going with that. It's all good. Well, Roberta, not everybody was lucky enough to be in Kansas City with us. So Roberta mentioned that she bought the hexagon flips when she was in Kansas City, and that was at the Paper Ganza event back in July, which was a lot of fun. So now I have a hexagon to use later that has leaves on it. Really cute. This is stuck to my plate. There we go. Okay. So that one I can put right there. I could even put something there if I wanted to keep on decorating. I could even do like more like the little mushrooms with faces and put them there. I won't do that on the live because, you know, that would take me a long time to do all the coloring and stuff. But you can just keep going and going with all this decorating if you wanted to. I could put a message there if I wanted to. So many possibilities with this. Get it straight, Libby. Do you guys talk to yourself the way I talk to myself? Okay, there's that one. I don't know if I'm off camera, but I'm just putting glue all over this. Okay. I'm gonna make it straightish. There we go. And now I have this to put here, which I'm not going to totally press that because I just want to make sure again that it's hidden. Yes. I think I'll use my thank you so much. Thank you so much. Put that right on there. So let me go ahead and die cut that out because there is a little die for it in the die set. Jennifer mentioned the Simple Greetings die set. That is a good one. Guys, I really love how this card's turning out. I'm very happy about it. Thank you so much. There we go. Okay, I'm going to tape this one because it moved on me when I put the top plate on. I have some little low-tack tape sitting here. I always keep it on the edge of my desk until I can't possibly use it anymore. So I just grab that from the side of my desk. I'll keep that I love you so much for another card. And I could have, of course, just stamped that right onto that panel rather than stamping it separate and die cutting it out. But since I had already stamped it and because I had already put this together, I decided to use the one that I had cut out. So now what we can do here, though, is put like a little decoration. I didn't leave a whole lot of room to add a message, but you can put a little signature in there. But it's cute, and I have to do it. I'll put this up kind of high so that there's room to put a little message there. Oops. I'm going to put a, let me see, where's my box? Let me get that out of the way. No. I don't think I'm going to use that other mushroom I made. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll find a place for it. So I'll put that there. So that one will go like that. Writing on the back of the card is another good idea. That's what Lee just suggested in the chat. Okay, let me just put that on for a second, and then we'll take a closer look and I'll decide if I still want to do something on the front of my card, which I think I do. I feel like I want to put something here too. What were the messages in this? Sending smiles, hello and hi. Maybe while that's sitting there for a second, I'm gonna cut out another little scallop and see what we think. You could really just go crazy decorating every little nook and cranny and inch of this card. I'll at least put that there just because, you know, then it's a little decorated. I don't know that I need to put a white panel, but might as well put the cute little hexagon because why not, right? So that's where we're at. Usually I would have like some kind of message on the front too, but I'm not sure that we need it this time. Thank you so much. I could do it like another little bush and put that over there just for fun. And then we have these panels still. And what I was thinking I could do, so I have two different foilables out. I have these mushrooms, which could be super cute. Or I have two different leaf sets here, kind of like the scale of that one. Assuming I can find my folder real quick. Oh, I have stuff everywhere. What a messy crafter I am today. Let's just do this and see what we like, if we like it. This is the new satin ginger. That's really pretty. That I think would go really nice with that. Another one I love to use for these leaves. Maybe I'll do this one because I love it so much. This one's called Neutral Cheerfoil. No, it's called Libby. It's called Waterfall Neutral. That's what I was trying to say. And I just think that's really pretty as leaves because it has like a little bit of color variation in it. Yeah, I'm a messy crafter every day as well, Jennifer. I don't know who I'm trying to kid, but so let me make sure I have my folder handy. I don't. I haven't completely unpacked from a thing I did in August, which is ridiculous, but I think it might still be here. Just looking for my transfer folders. Yeah, okay. So I didn't want to have to use the big one. What do you guys think? Satin ginger or the waterfall? Which one do you think is the right choice? While I get out my mink. Here's my pink mink, turning on the back. Setting it to 3. So let that heat up for a second. Well, Roberta said that the watercolor foil is her favorite. We could also just try both and see which one we like better, I guess. So we have enough stuff. Let me clean up a little. I'm like out of control here, guys. Stuff everywhere. Holly likes satin ginger. Let's just do them both because we can. And it's fall, and I know I'll use both, you know, at some point with all my fall crafting. I'm determined for it to be fall, even if it's not September 22nd just yet, but it's so close. I cut that side really crooked. It's my cute little brush. Like to make sure that there isn't dust on here. I'm also dusting off my little panel off screen. Get this one ready to go, and then I'll prep my other one. I'm just putting it on in a carrier transfer sheet folder thing. Yeah, that was not the exact name of what that's called, but brain. And then we'll also try the satin ginger. It's fall in our hearts. That's true. Maybe after this live to celebrate getting through another live because, you know, It makes me very anxious and nervous. Even though you guys are so lovely and kind and there's no reason to be nervous, it still makes me nervous. But anyway, maybe I'll go get a pumpkin spice latte to celebrate when I'm done. Actually, my favorite thing is a pumpkin cream cold brew. That's what I actually love. I don't go to Starbucks all that often. I used to way too much, and I've cut it pretty much out. I just go every now and then, hardly ever. But the fall drinks are super good. Okay. Ooh. Did you guys hear that? So I set my other panel over on top of my Empress to get it out of the way for a second, and I accidentally turned it on. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so my green light is on. So that means I can now put it through. If you haven't foiled before, you always want to have the pretty side up on your foiling panel. You can put it in either way. It doesn't matter. There's no upside down because it goes through rollers that have the heat and pressure on both sides. And what this does is it melts the toner that's printed on the foilable panel. And then that sticky melted toner, the foil sticks to. And this is totally different than the kind of foiling that you would do with a foil plate, like on the Spellbinders Glimmer or something. It's totally different kind of foiling. Jennifer, you're doing the mushroom coffee. I tried it and I just could not get into it. I want to be a kind of person that drinks mushroom coffee, but I don't know. I didn't love it. But I try not to go get Starbucks and sweet drinks and all that. I just make one little cup of coffee in the morning here at home. I do love coffee. I even had a moment of wishing the other day that I could switch to black tea because it's supposed to be better for you, but I don't think I can do that either. I drink water most of the day. Normally, actually, it's going to be what? It's going to be 2:30 or so by the time I'm done with this. So that is not normally a time that I would go get coffee because I don't want to stay up all night. That makes sense. Jennifer, does it have spices in it to give it kind of that chai tea flavor? Because that could be really yummy. I'm doing the other one. So when it first comes out, it's hot to the touch, not burning hot, but it is hot. You want to make sure it cools off because you want that toner to kind of stop being all melty and be in place. And so now we're going to do the peel and reveal of this first one, which see that watercolor neutral. It's so pretty. It's so hard to see. You can't even hardly see the variation on the camera. But in real life, it's really, really pretty. Oh, when it's down farther, you can kind of see the variation better than when I had it up close. That's a better, on my screen anyway, that looks more, where you can see how pretty it is than when I had it up close to the camera. Turmeric. Okay, now you're losing me again. Turmeric, I think of in like savory food, not in my morning drink, but that's really good for you as well. Karen has never had a coffee in her life. Wow, that's impressive. That's good. That's good for you. Let's see. Mud water. Yeah, I think that's the kind I bought or tried. Yeah, I do. Chai tea lattes, delicious. Pumpkin spice. And there is the satin ginger. So pretty. So pretty. So the satin ginger, let me just talk about that for a second. It's shiny, but it's more of a matte shiny. It's not like a super metallic or glitzy type of shiny. So it's a beautiful foil to use for fall. Now the question is, which one do we like better on here? I feel like the satin ginger probably ties in better with what we've already done than this one, even though I love it with my whole heart. I think maybe this is the choice for this particular card because I think it just kind of goes with our colors a little bit better. Do you guys agree? Polly doesn't like coffee as well. Turmeric tea helps to lose weight. Well, there you go. That would be good. Ginger. Yep, you guys are loving the satin ginger. But just to tell you, if you don't know, I just have to tell you this real quick. There are 3 other of these watercolor foils. Watercolor warm might have been good too instead of neutral, but whatever. There's green, blue, and warm, and they're all just so pretty. These are some of my absolute favorite foils, so just wanted to make sure you know of their existence. Okay, what I'm going to do now, and I'm sorry this live is going long, but I'm going to go ahead and cut out my 2 panels, and then we'll put them on, and we should be done with this card. Oh, here's the question. I hope I can get, I think I can get 2 out of this. I didn't even think about the fact that the foilables are a little bit smaller. Just if you're not familiar with our foilables, they are 4 by 5 1/4. So they kind of layer onto an A2 card rather than being the full size of an A2. And so they're just a little bit smaller, which is fine. This is a little bit smaller as well. So I think I have to kind of have it. Did you hear that? I said kind of twice. I have to have it lined up. Oh, I don't want to get this messy. Let's see. Let's tape it. It basically lines up perfectly, right? It's like the edges aren't even going to die cut really on the outer edge. It's the inner edge that we have to worry more about. So while I'm doing this, if you guys are available next week on Monday for my live, I do already have a plan in my head of what I'm going to make. I'm going to do the house, the Home Sweet Home house and add-ons for fall. And I'm going to make it a spooky house with ghosts and stuff. And then I'm going to, I think, use some of the Pear Blossom Press lights to make it a lit up spooky house for Halloween. So that is my plan for next week if you want to join me then. And maybe I'll have like thought of it more ahead of time. And there won't be any coloring to sit through. So okay, so here are my panels. My last bits to put on my card for today. Yeah, hugs to Lee. I know your body's been healing and you're taking good care of yourself. Okay, that's random if you aren't watching the comments. But anyway. Go ahead and add glue to this. And I kind of love that these leaves, let me look for a second. Yeah, I think this leaf foilable that I used, which is called Falling Leaves Panels. It's not the newest leaves that we had in the August release. It's an older set. And it is the same leaf design that we used on the embossing folder. So that's perfect. You know, it kind of all coordinates together even better than I realized as I was doing it. So I love how that turned out. I don't need to take that tape off. I was gonna, it would be on the back, but I don't know. I just feel like I have to remove it. Okay. She's so cute. Okay, so that's kind of the inside that you won't necessarily see on my card. But if you happen to close it all the way, you'd be like, oh, look at those cute leaves on there as well. And so we have all that. I could still put something there if I wanted to, but I won't do it today. I also was thinking of putting a little glitter in the flower centers. Does she need a little glitter in her flower centers? I don't know. But this is what we've made today. Lots of things going on with this card. It's the hexagon flip card dies, which I love. And it is the Mush Love, cute little older set, but I love giving older sets some love. And I think it turned out super cute. And if you weren't here for it, we did embossing. We did the embossing folder here on the pattern paper. And this is the fall gingham paper. and did a lot of coloring with our Olo markers. So yay. I love it. I think it turned out cute. I'll get a picture taken of that and post it. Hold on one second, put my pin back in. Maggie, it was so nice to see you here today. Thank you for being here. All right, so yay. Again, here's my little card. And thanks for being, oh, here's the little, oh no, never mind. Libby, stop. All right, the other thing I wanted to remind you guys of, first of all, I think the Advent calendar from Pink and Main is still available, which is super awesome. Michelle does such a great job on the Advent calendar, putting so much fun stuff in it. So check that out if you haven't already. It's going to ship, I think, in November, but it's available for sale now. And then also our virtual event, which is coming up in October, near the end of October. We're stopping sales of that on the 19th, which I think is, what is that? Is that Friday? Let me just look. Yes, that's Friday. So if you haven't signed up and you want to join us, it's going to be a really fun event. We have great teachers, and we posted a picture of the kit, of the products of the kit you'll get, which they're super fun. And so I can't wait for you guys to see all the fun projects that our teachers make with that, including me and Michelle as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you'll join us for that if you haven't already signed up. This month, our release for Pink and Main is a week later than normally. It's usually the third Friday of the month, but this time it's going to be the fourth Friday, which is the 26th. It's going to be holiday themed. It's really, really, really super cute. So let's see. I keep losing track of my dates. So not next week, but the week after, we'll start doing, no, I'm sorry. Not this week, but next week we'll do sneak peeks all week and then have the release. So the release is a week from Friday. So watch out for that as well. And again, we have Caitlin here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern doing lives. And Demo Donna does 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So 8 p.m. Wednesday and 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday and Thursday. So that's everything. I hope I'll see you back here again next Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to make that little house I mentioned. And it's always great chatting with you guys. I appreciate you being here. All right. So take care, everybody. I'll see you again soon.